Hello everyone, I am Iran Princess.
I'm a Korean gangster. I'm uploading my first video in Korea. We arrived safely in Korea. The journey to Korea was not easy at all. As you may know if you watched the video, my wife forgot her passport, which made things hectic at the airport. But more than that, suddenly leaving Iran, where we had lived for 6.5 years, and coming to Korea was an incredibly difficult decision. It wasn't easy to move, not only for us, but also for our 2 children. It was tough.
Yes.
By the way, I enrolled the kids in kindergarten and also signed up my wife for Korean classes so she can learn the language.
It's difficult.
Is it difficult?
It's difficult.
But kids don't go to kindergarten as easily as adults go. When dropping them off, they would cry and throw tantrums, refusing to go. They needed an adjustment period. On top of that, just when they were starting to adjust, they caught a cold, so I had to take them to the hospital. Before I knew it, time flew by in a blur. Anyway, with all these excuses, I ended up not uploading any videos for a month. I'm sorry. By the way, many people ask why I left Iran and came to Hell Yoseon. First of all, Korea is not Hell Yoseon, hell. I believe there is no country as good as Korea. Of course, there may be many differing opinions on this, but as someone who has lived abroad, I think there are very few countries with infrastructure as advanced and welfare as decent as Korea. Moreover, to be honest, life in Iran was not always smooth. Unlike what you may see on YouTube, in reality there were many difficulties. So, in this video, I want to talk about the reasons why we decided to return. There are various reasons. First of all, it wasn't a matter of safety. Iran, compared to other countries, is a relatively safe and livable place, right?
Yes, Iranians are really friendly to foreigners.
Really?
No.
I'm kidding. They are friendly. Furthermore, if you look online, Iran is often portrayed as an extremely dangerous country due to things like hijab protests and the possibility of war with neighboring countries. However, during the 6.5 years I lived there, I never actually felt that my safety was at risk or that war was imminent.
No, it's not.
How can I compare it? Think of it like how South Korea reacts to North Korea's provocations these days. When I was young, whenever Kim Il-sung or Kim Jong-il launched missile provocations or made threats, the stock market would fluctuate and people would worry about the possibility of war.
Really?
Nowadays, South Koreans are very indifferent to missile provocations. People go to work as usual without any concern. It's mostly foreigners who react by asking if a war is about to break out in Korea. The reality is quite the opposite of their worries. Iran is the same as Korea in this regard. Recently, there was a missile standoff between Iran and Israel. In Korea, people were saying that war was imminent and that it was dangerous, but in reality, everything was very calm. Have you seen the missiles flying around?
No, I haven't. Have you seen them, Oppa? Back when Trump was president, there was a lot of conflict between Iran and Iraq. People were saying that a war was about to break out.
At that time, the president of Iran said something like this.
Don't play with the lion's tail.
He said not to play with the lion's tail.
Peep.
The lion here refers to Iran. It's really impressive.
Who? Who was it?
How many countries can say something like this to the United States? It's a statement that would be unimaginable in Korea. Anyway, the biggest reason we came back to Iran is because Iran's economy is unstable. When I first went to Iran in 2017, the exchange rate was 40,000 rials per dollar. But before I left, it had risen to 610,000 rials per dollar.
Swoosh like this.
Is it an airplane?
Swoosh, it's really high.
I lived in Iran for about 6.5 years or 8 years in total, counting the calendar years. And during that time, the value of the rial increased 15 times. Naturally, the cost of living also skyrocketed.
Oh no.
Moreover, the US presidential election is coming up soon, and I personally think Trump will be re-elected.
Yes.
If you're interested in Iran, you probably already know that life in Iran was quite good during Obama's presidency.
However, when Trump became president, sanctions against Iran were strongly enforced. As a result, most Korean companies, except for Samsung and LG, left Iran, leading to the current situation.
Oh no.
Anyway, I believe that the person responsible for all this will be re-elected, which makes me think that life in Iran will become even more difficult. We as adults could manage to get by somehow, but the educational environment for our children is quite poor. Fortunately, there is a Korean school in Iran. However, the number of Koreans residing in Iran is not very high. As far as I know, there are about 130 Koreans living there. But now that my 2 kids and I have left, the number must be down to around 127. The reason it's not 4 people is that my wife does not yet have Korean nationality, so the number decreased by 3.
I see.
Anyway, about 1/3 of the Koreans in Iran are either diplomats or business expatriates. Since Iran is perceived as an unsafe country, though not necessarily unsafe itself, there aren't many people who bring their families with them. Additionally, the Korean school in Iran only offers elementary education. There are no middle or high school programs. So most parents send their children to international schools, but even these schools have been downsizing significantly. So I started to wonder whether my kids could receive a proper education in such an environment. Even if they can't study well, they should at least perform at an average level, right? Should they do well, study?
They have to be the best.
Should our kids be the top students?
My kids must be the top students.
Also, while living in Iran, I faced many restrictions when it came to working. In Iran, if an Iranian man marries a foreign woman, she is immediately granted Iranian citizenship. However, if an Iranian woman marries a foreign man, he is not given Iranian citizenship. It's simply not allowed.
It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
Beep beep.
I wouldn't accept it even if they offered. Anyway, because of this, while getting a visa was never really a problem, living as a foreigner was not easy. The kids are not citizens of this country either. So, considering all these factors, I felt that living in such an environment was not ideal, which is why we decided to move to Korea. And once again, I want to clarify that I didn't study traditional Korean medicine in Korea, but rather studied Chinese medicine in China. Because of this, my qualifications are not recognized in Korea. As a result, I cannot work in the medical field here, meaning I have to find a job unrelated to my major. That being said, one small silver lining is that due to Iran's unstable economy, I didn't solely rely on medical practice. I also had other side jobs. So I'm considering finding employment in that field instead. Honestly, it's disappointing. Changing my career path at almost 40 is not easy. And finding a job in Korea won't be a simple task either. But at least during this time, my wife will have the opportunity to learn Korean and immerse herself in Korean culture in Korea. In the end, she'll be able to obtain Korean citizenship, right?
Yes.
Work hard.
Work hard.
Please study hard.
Study hard, yes.
Moreover, we hope that our children as Koreans can learn Korean and be able to experience better educational environment in Korea. To be honest, my wife doesn't particularly like Korea. She didn't marry me because she was into Korean culture or K-pop. She simply married me because she liked me as a person. Because of that, even though her husband is Korean, she doesn't know much about Korean culture and hasn't shown much interest in Korea. However, over the next 2 years, as she prepares for Korean citizenship, I believe that learning the Korean language and culture will change her perspective significantly.
Yes, it really changed. Really?
I believe that during this time I will also learn new skills and settle down, and as a result my wife will come to like Korea even more.
Yes, I like it.
Also, when I was 19, I went to China. And except for the 2 years I served in the military, where I was discharged as an army sergeant, I have spent half of my life abroad. Because of that, I didn't have much time to spend with my parents. These days, people talk about living to 100, but more than just living long, living a healthy life is what really matters, right? Moreover, during the 6.5 years I spent in Iran, we had 2 children. While my in-laws were able to enjoy watching their grandchildren grow up, my own parents hardly had the chance to share those moments, which made me feel upset. After so many years of living abroad, both my body and mind became exhausted, but my wife didn't seem to understand my feelings at all. Since we've only been in Korea for a short time, I think she just hasn't been able to understand it yet. Do you want to see Mom and Dad?
Yes. From the moment I got on the plane until now, I have missed my mom and dad.
What are you talking about? But when I was in Iran and said that I missed my parents and longed for Korea, why didn't you understand?
Oppa. Oppa, I'm here. So what is there to miss? What?
I was truly happy because I had my princess.
Yes.
I didn't miss anything. Anyway, I'm talking too much.
Thank you, Lord. Let's pray. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyway, I've been talking for a long time. Anyway, I felt that I no longer had a future in Iran, and I wanted to take some time to rest while staying in Korea. In a way, this is a preparation period for me. That's why I decided to return. Finding a job at my age in Korea won't be easy, and to be honest, it feels quite overwhelming. But still, I'm really happy to be in Korea.
Why do you like it? Do you like it because I'm in Korea? What's so funny?
Yes, I really like it.
Why do you like it?
How about you, Princess? How do you like Korea?
I came as a traveler, but now I've come to live in Korea. I'm studying Korean and getting more familiar with the country. I'm starting to like Korea more and more.
Really?
Yes.
Come to think of it, it's been a few years since I started running a YouTube channel.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thanks to the support of my subscribers, I've been able to continue this journey. There's so much to do and things have been hectic since coming to Korea, but I will do my best to keep uploading videos consistently.
Please spread the word about our channel a lot. Bye. Thank you.